Jess. Buddy, you in there?
Hey! Today, we will be ranking the greatest Dragon Ball fights in Z and Super. Why no GT? Fuck GT. You know the Zybes, bro. Him, Fa. They boxed, I guess. Mid, who cares? Bad fight. Boom. Okay, this is, oh no, this is Goku versus Ginyu specifically. That fight was like, okay, I ain't gonna lie. We're not starting off strong here. That fight was, yeah, that fight was okay. I mean, Goku, that scene is fire, but the fight, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's like a who cares, man. Probably a who cares. Ginyu Goku versus Gohan and Krillin. It's definitely better than who cares. But like it kind of boxed. I'm gonna go mid for now because I feel like there's gonna be better fights than they box. So I'm gonna go for mid for now. Vegeta versus Frieza first form. Brief exchange, but they boxed. Piccolo versus second form Frieza. Again, they boxed. They boxed 100%. No, I think this is the peak definition of what they box looks like. Was it peak? No. Was it anything too crazy? No, but Piccolo pulled up and they were throwing hands. Now, Piccolo in this fight gets his ass whooped, but I'm putting it in they boxed here. Then motherfucker, this. I ain't gonna lie. It was funny. He eviscerated Piccolo, but it was entertaining. Vegeta versus final form Frieza. Now, obviously the fight in terms of back and forth, obviously it was lopsided. But in terms of the fight itself, what it meant to the series, fire as fuck all day. Piccolo versus Frieza, who cares? It's literally Piccolo stalling. Goku versus Frieza. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this shit with you all. Y'all have y'all contrarian. Actually, it was no. Actually, it was him.
I won't let you get away with...
Next, Trunks versus Frieza. It's iconic as fuck. I'm not gonna call it him, but I will say that bitch is heat. Look. In terms of introductions, Trunks legitimately has the best case to say that he has the best intro. And I know the introduction to Cell is fire. The introduction to Frieza is overrated. The introduction of Vegeta is underrated. But you could, it's casual, but it's casual for a reason. You could easily argue that Trunks has the best introduction throughout the series. Goku versus Frieza, but this time both in their max forms. Again, I'm not wasting your time. Yamcha versus Dr. Gero. Again, none of these so far have been objectively bad. Who cares? I'll say it's more impactful than these two. So I'll put it in mid, but it's like who cares, but it was more impactful. 19 versus Goku. You rewatch it. 19 versus Goku was kind of cool. Goku was putting the pause on that nigga 19. He was. Now, unfortunately, what a lot of people are gonna push back on this fight, and it's fair. It's just fair, is that it was one-sided at both times. There was no point in time where it was 50-50. It was literally Goku's curb stomping Android 19 and then the other way around. I could even talk myself down to they box because looking at these other two, it is an outlier. So I'll put it here for now, but I'm not shocked if this goes back up. Now, Vegeta versus nice. This nigga did this, and did this. So one nigga? Yeah, I'm a simple man. That is enough. Great transformation. One of the best ass whoopings in the show. One of the best characters to give an ass whooping in the show. Easy him. Raditz versus Goku and Piccolo. I'm gonna say it's Fa. Don't see him for some people that say him. I think where this fight falls flat is a little bit of like this fight had hella good plot twist. 100%. Gohan coming out the cut, headbutting that nigga. That was fire. The special beam cannon literally blicking Goku for the first time ever. That was fire. The fight itself is okay. It's the last hoorah of Goku being like Dragon Ball OG Goku, where he's like using foot Kamehameha.
What is that?
But it's just not enough for me to faithfully call him. But it is the final hoorah to OG Dragon Ball for sure. 18 versus Vegeta. I'm not gonna go him. Oh, put you out of your mind. That's not fire. A lot of people talk about Vegeta getting his arm broken in the fight. People don't talk about how Vegeta was initially winning that fight. And then the sheer joy of seeing Vegeta just like so obsessed with winning the fight that he's just murking civilians left and right. Fucking heat. Piccolo versus First Form Cell, they actually boxed. This isn't one of the most like impactful in terms of importance, but I mean, granted, Cell does literally spell out the plot for you, so I'm not gonna say that it's not important entirely, but Piccolo actually has some cool choreography in this fight. Piccolo versus Android 17 though. I'ma go 5. You could argue him if you know ball. I'm not mad at niggas going him. I'ma go fire because I do think sometimes shit gets a little too goofy. Piccolo versus Cell, I'm not gonna lie. It would have been cooler if he just sat there in fear. It's not fitting for the character to do that, but I didn't like essentially. It's like, yeah, I don't want to overhate it. It's who cares? I don't want to overhate it. Tien versus Second Form Cell. I'm gonna say they boxed. I'm not gonna give it the credit that a lot of y'all will do and say it's a fight. It's arguable. I'm gonna say they boxed, but it definitely was a cool fucking moment. 16 versus Cell. Now this is gonna be controversial. I didn't care as much as a lot of people did. I like 16, but I don't care to watch him fight. Does that make sense? I'm not gonna lie. This nigga going like boom and lasers being there? That's fucking cool. Huh? That's fucking awesome. Vegeta versus Second Form Cell. Now look, ass whoopings are amazing. And this ass whooping meant a lot to the series. I'm gonna go ahead and say these 5. I'm gonna say it's 5. Seeing Second Form Cell essentially beg Vegeta not to kill him. Vegeta's at his best as a character. Vegeta is at his best when he is dominantly the strongest person at that point in time. Vegeta versus Trunks, they box. I'm not gonna say it's too much. I wish we've seen more of it. When you're playing that shit in Budokai Tenkaichi 2, yeah, that made me think the fight would be him. I'm not gonna lie, but ultimately in the series, it's not disappointing. They still box, but it's not nothing crazy. Perfect Cell versus Vegeta. Final Flash is fucking awesome. I'm not gonna size it too much and think that it's 5, but yeah, Cell just tanking. Come on. Trunks versus Perfect Cell, I think is in the same-ish tier actually. I think both of these moments are memorable, iconic, but you're telling me that I have to say that this is anywhere near this and that's cap. But these are great moments for both characters. This is peak. This I'm not gonna discuss it. This is peak. This is literally as good as Dragon Ball gets. If there was a ranking, it'd be number 1. I might even give it a separate tier. It's no conversation. Nappa versus Goku. So earlier I said the homage to OG Dragon Ball was here. If you had one for the road, it'd be this fight. If you had one for like one final one for the road, and I know you saw guys like Tien fight, so you would think that's what I'm saying. Nah, I think Tien and Gohan and Piccolo all essentially are a little different at that point in time. But I think this fight is the final.
I'm the type of nigga stand on business, nigga.
What Goku does to Nappa. Yeah. Nappa versus everyone else. hot take, that's also fire. I don't know why people don't talk about it. Like, Nappa really 1v5'd, and it was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome. Nappa punched Tien's arm off, tanked the Kikoho, tanked Chiaotzu's self-destructive bomb, marked the shit out of Piccolo, almost curb stomped Gohan, and damn near killed Krillin. I mean, dog, and Nappa versus them, and if you give them the Saiyaman, which is looking like you as well, it even makes it better. You could argue this is here, and I wouldn't be mad, to be honest. Nappa versus them motherfuckers is one of the best dominant displays in the series, without a fucking doubt. Perfect Cell versus Super Saiyan Gohan, I think is underrated. A lot of people would go here or here. I think this is actually here. When you look at the choreography, they box like fuck. The dialogue, cool as shit. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Underrated fight. Give it a check. But it wasn't like his daddy. Instant. Not gonna lie. If we are talking pure choreography, nigga, this fucking fight is crazy. Now, it doesn't dwarf these, and it gun to my head, this is really the accurate one. But I just want to shout out this fight because this choreography is insane. And for what you think prior to it, see, the problem with this fight that gets downplayed is we, the viewer, have hindsight now. So we, the viewer, know that this is not the pinnacle of the series. We, the viewer, know eventually Goku's gonna say, all right, Gohan, ball up. And even if you think that was implied when you're watching on first watch, and I somewhat did think that, there's no way Gohan just does nothing after becoming a Super Saiyan, right? Like fair enough. But for most people, you didn't know how the arc was going to end, but you knew that the beginning of the end was right here. You knew the beginning of the end was right here. So seeing these motherfuckers face off, and like the speed was demonstrated, arguably the best in the entire series, I'd say, to be honest. The instant kamehamehas, the techniques used, it is a fantastic fight. I think the swerve at the end is the swerve at the end for a reason. I think honestly, all these other fights tell a better story. But if you just told me, show a nigga who hasn't seen Dragon Ball how they fight, I digress. Oh, the Cell Juniors versus everybody. You're asking me about a fight that was supposed to be a stomp. That's the problem. This is unfair because it meant a lot for the plot. But in hindsight, you're asking me about a fight that was off screen a lot, a fight that the Cell Juniors pretty much kicked ass in. And while it was nice seeing Krillin show that even though he's power diffed, his techniques were kind of helping him, and he was actually performing pretty good against the Cell Juniors. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Who cares if not bad? I'll go who cares though. Y'all are gonna get mad, but y'all are gonna get mad that this is my favorite curb stomp in the series. This, I would say, I have to say objectively is the best. This is easily my favorite stomp in the series. Trunks, get back. Oh yeah, I hate to do it, but it's exactly where it needs to be. W moment mid-fight. Another controversial one. This is fire. W moment like a motherfucker. But I'm gonna be honest. You rewatch it. Don't get mad. Don't hit the dislike button. Don't say I'm bugging. Just go rewatch it. Come back and say your 10 toes. Goten and Trunks boxed. And Spopovich and Vidal. Yeah. It was a nice pendulum. Was it awful to watch? Yup. Guess we finally have a bad fight one, because not only do I not care, but like, I really don't care. This fight, they didn't box, but the moment, like how shit went down, right? The irony of this fight carries it. The irony of the fight of like, oh, we're in 10 times gravity, Like, ah, and then Vegeta's like 10 times. 10 times type shit. So yeah, that's right there. Now this moment meant a lot to the series, but I think the fight itself doesn't really help the moment at all. Deborah and Gohan, I ain't gonna lie, I guess here's my hot take of the day. For what it's supposed to have been, it's a bad fight. For what it's supposed to have been, it's a bad fight. It's a very forgettable fight. Gun to your head, you can't name 3 things about it when you're supposed to be able to name like 5 things. And granted, the play was supposed to be, yeah, Gohan fell the fuck off, and that's a fine play, but I feel like you could have illustrated it in a more interesting manner. I'm not gonna do it with y'all. I'm not gonna do it with y'all, man. All right, bro. Like, all right, we're bored. Cool. Whoa. He actually said it's not him. Yeah. Anyway, this is one of the best in terms of choreography. This is fucking with this fight and how good this fight looks. I do think it falls flat towards this fight when it comes to just like honestly fucked up choreography. Still definite, but not even just that. It just had like a monkey's paw over the fight of like, this isn't how it's gonna end because these niggas is trolling. Boo's gonna hatch. 90% sure that's Gohan getting cooked by Boo. It was mid. Actually, it was anticlimactic. Who cares? Vegeta versus Boo. The moment obviously is here. It's Fada. It's Fada. Same exact play. Same exact play. I mean, if there's any disagreement, they would go here for you if you're really upset, but it's the same exact play. Five's not bad. It's literally the second highest tier outside of the one outlier. And truthfully, this fight is in this tier. I'm just picking one. And I'm now removing it. I don't understand how people don't agree with this. It can be boring in terms of, ooh, no transformations, but it has transformations. You could get technical, you could get very weird about it and say Kaioken is a transformation. But dog, the choreography in this fight off rip is beautiful. The storytelling in the fight is fucking beautiful. The way that there's like 5 different plot twists in this fight is fucking amazing. You think Goku ×3 is actually going to take the edge, but then he can't hold on to ×3. So then Vegeta gets really mad and he flies up, and then Goku whips out a Kaioken ×4. And you're like, oh shit, he did it. He somehow fucking did it. And then Vegeta's just back. And not only is he back, and we're like, oh damn, I don't know how Goku can keep boxing up with this dude. But then he forms a fucking moon, and then you realize the irony that, oh, yo, if Goku had his tail, he may not be able to control himself, but he'd be fine right now, but he doesn't. So as a result, this nigga's gonna die. And then ultimately, he doesn't die because everyone else starts pulling up, saving his ass. But then guess what? After you cut the nigga's tail, Vegeta's still going. I think this is easily #1. I'm so happy I've matured and come around to it. Any nigga that don't have this, to me personally, just chatting. Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Boo. Fire ass beating. I ain't gonna lie. It should go here, but it's fucking hilarious how this nigga just beat this nigga's ass like a yo-yo. I'm sorry. I seen that and I said, yup, this is peak. This is peak fiction. It gets no better. In hindsight, it was a wash, but I like this fight, actually. I like this fight. Super Buu versus Gotenks. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't fucking remember that shit. Gohan touching Earth and beating this nigga's ass was kind of crazy. Now Buhan, I'm not gonna lie, Buhan's kind of fucking cool. Buhan hard carries. It obviously isn't the same ooh moment, but it's supposed to be the same on opposite pendulums. I do think it falls a little bit flat there, but this is don't sleep on that moment. Buhan beating the piss out of Gohan was kinda, or Buu-Tanks, I said Buhan. Buu-Tanks beating the shit out of Gohan was kinda cool. I'm not gonna lie, I love this fight. I think this fight is probably the most underrated fight on this list. And that's it borders him, but I'm not gonna give it to him. I'm not gonna give it to him because looking at him's kind of stacked. But I think this is easily most underrated fight in the series, and I'm not a fan of the Buu arc. Vegeta versus Kid Buu. They box, but it's nothing special. This one, again, the same attempt as this, but it's just a bit worse. Vegeta Dodoria is kind of cool. I'll say Vegeta Dodoria is like they boxed. Vegeta Zarbon is fire. That's fire. That shit was fire. No conversation needed.
Hey, yo.
Frieza beating the piss out of Nail was entertaining. Not entertaining enough for me to call it fire, but definitely entertaining enough for me to say they box. One of the most disrespected fights in the games nowadays. Guldo versus these niggas? He ain't the character of characters. But that fight, man, I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't a back and forth thing, but them niggas just being paralyzed and then Vegeta just coming out the cut. Yeah. It's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Maybe I'm overrating the fight a little bit, so be it. But I love it. Because I ain't gonna lie. Vegeta Raccoon is that shit. Vegeta Raccoon is that shit. Vegeta Raccoon is that good shit. I ain't gonna lie. Vegeta Raccoon. I don't know why the fuck they went crazy on that fight, but they did. Them niggas boxed. Like, holy shit. A bridge just legendary, ain't no cap. I'm not gonna lie, W moment, the fight was mid. But yeah, Goku touching down and jobbing the Ginyu Force again. W moment, fight was mid. This, I do not care. Again, it's right. Oh wait, this is the same thing. Yes, I'll put them both in who cares. So I get feel good moment, but in terms of the fight, I do not care. Dragon Ball Super has some fights. This sample size isn't the highest, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not crying about it because holy shit, do I not need to see all of the super fights on this list. Vegeta versus Topo. I'm not gonna lie, who cares? Goku versus Hit. I actually think they boxed. I ain't a hater for hating reasons. I don't give a fuck. Yes, this is him even compared to the Z list. Vegito versus Zamasu. Quite the same, but it is good. It's a beautiful fight to look at. Goku versus Jiren P1. It broke the internet. It broke the internet. Can't take that away from it. It was fire. I think it's fire, but I think I would stop it there. Definition of fucking super. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not here to appease the fake woke. This is, what are we talking about? I'm not doing it with y'all either. This one, do they have this moment separate? I'm not ranking that. This is the most egregious moment of fucking super. Yeah. This probably peak super. This fight is so fucking, that's just good. That's just good shit. I mean, the animation is top tier. The story being told is top tier. Even this is the only time the sideline expressions are like, wow, I care about them saying Frieza's actually working with Goku, because Frieza's actually working with Goku. I care about Vegeta's facial expression getting a cutaway, because for the first time throughout the entire tournament power, it's actually warranted to see how these motherfuckers on the sideline feel. I actually care about these niggas screaming Go Goku because it's the finale of the fucking arc. I care about Jiren because even the imagery of him shattered through his ideals of not trusting motherfuckers and only fighting for himself. It's so many things are told in this fight, let alone the obvious Frieza trusting Goku thing. This fight is fucking, it's peak. Vegeta versus Broly, fire. It's not him, but it's great. It's great. I don't even need to discuss it. Same thing with Goku. It's great. I don't need to discuss it. Gogeta. Now, some people complain that it starts doing too much, but I don't think that's the case. I think it. Gogeta even with just black hair was fucking nice to look at in this fucking Joe. And I like the ending. I'm not gonna call it him either, but it's close. It's close. And if you've noticed, granted, he clearly cherry picked the best Dragon Ball super fights. Of all the peaks in Dragon Ball, you see it's rarely ever actually just mid. It's often either really, really, really fucking good with insane payoffs, and mind you, 3 of them are from a fucking movie, or it's just some of the worst shit you've seen. It's just some of the worst shit you've seen. Let me know what you think. Here's my boy TSL Sage. Let me know if I'm talking on some of these fights. Comment below your favorite fight. Comment below the best Dragon Ball Super fight that wasn't included. Take care and stay blessed. We'll see you the next time.